I recently made some cool, like, spooky potion jars out of just regular old spice bottles that I just didn't use. And these I'd actually gotten from my grandmother-in-law. She gave me all these really old bottles, and a lot of them had like old spices in it, so I dumped that out and then I made some cool concoctions out of it. I thought it'd be fun to do a tutorial, and so I was going to show you how I made them. And the reason I made them, I would probably make them anyway just because I think they're really cool, but I am having a Harry Potter party coming up and they're going to be part of the aesthetic. So, first things first, make sure you have some type of like newspaper, or I'm using an old towel, so if I spill something, it's not all over the place. Also, apron would really help, because again, if you spill something. I'm going to use some old Frappuccino jars, and I have their lids. Obviously, I'm going to paint over these, probably spray paint them black or whatever later, at a later time. The party's not for 2 months, so I got plenty of time. But I'm just a big dork, and I want to do everything now. So anyway, I have 3 of these bottles, and I was going to show you some of the things I had done. Now, label-wise, if you have a printer, you can print. I know there's a bunch of like print-off labels that you can get. I don't have a printer, so I have this giant-ass sticker book that I got for $3 like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. And I'm using the stickers as labels. I have like potion stickers, like this one. It's an actual potion label. And then, but I also have just stickers for symbols for other things. So I put a Death Eater symbol on here because it looks gross, like it's poison or something. But I got a lot of stuff like that. Like, check out this one. This one turned out really well. What I did, I used food coloring, some of the old spices that were in here, and then yellow fingernail polish, and it gave it this really crazy awesome look. So that's another thing. I'm just using things that I already had at my house. The only thing I really need to buy for this jar, I was going to fill it with a bunch of snakes and put this Wizard Weasley's Jumping Snakes, Ghastly Garroting Grass Snakes label. I thought that'd be fun. Yeah, some of them aren't necessarily finished, like the lid I still need to paint. This one, I was gonna say it's Cornish Pixie, like that's been liquefied. And a friend of mine, she has some skulls that she has left over from like a Halloween craft, and I'm also gonna get like chicken bones and like clean them off and then put them in here because I thought that would be cool. I was thinking about bleaching the bones, but I'm worried that it might be too much chemical stuff in one thing. But I'm mainly just using water, which I have a big cup of water here, and food coloring. I used a lot of my food coloring yesterday, so I only have red, and you can just get these at your grocery store or whatevs. Oh, I have green and blue. I can also make purple if I wanted. So that's cool. I would get a bowl of some kind so that you can mix everything in it. I'm using, this is actually meant for like if you're doing highlights in your hair or something. I like it because it has a spout, and I really don't use it for anything else, so this kind of works out for me. But if you don't want to ruin this because you use it for your hair, I would suggest just a regular bowl, or if you have like a measuring cup thing, but just make sure you really, really clean it if you're gonna use like toxic stuff like nail polish like I did. But if you're just doing water and this, It'll be fine. I also got out some distilled vinegar. I haven't used vinegar yet. I'm curious if it's going to do anything different. And also, I have some really old parsley that I'm never going to use, so I was going to use the flakes to make it look gritty. And I also had these stars that like sprinkle stuff that I don't even know how long I've had it, so at least it's going to some sort of good use. So yeah, this is what I've been doing. Note to self, if you're gonna do a label for whatever particular jar, I would almost look for a label or have a label in mind of which one you want to put on which jar, because I had a couple times where I made something weird and then I didn't know what to put on it, but luckily I had enough variety that it turned out pretty okay. Also, you're going to need something to stir. I'm using an old chopstick. I have a bunch of these, so if I need to I can throw it away, or I can clean it if it doesn't get too nasty. Alrighty, let's get on this. So here's my jar. I was trying to debate on what kind of sticker to use. I don't know. I have lots of creatures. Don't mind my son, he's playing a game and he gets really into them. So I have decided on a mermaid, which Harry Potter mermaids in the Wizarding World are pretty freaky looking. Since I wanted to do blue, I decided on this. And probably what I'll do, I'm going to take my blue and kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to do little drops on the sides so that it gets on the side. I'm running out. But it already looks kind of cool, right? And then I'm going to add some parsley flakes to give it, I guess this will be like, ooh, it could be mermaid scales, which I have an idea for that. So my idea for mermaid scales, I was thinking about using pine cones. I don't think I have anything else that would look right. Also, I have some shells that I might toss in there too. So I'm going to add some shells. I think that'll help make it seem more. And I was thinking about using these because I think it might look kind of cool. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in. I'm going to add a little bit of green. I'm going to do like 2 drops. I think I need to add a little bit of water. That looks pretty cool. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more parsley just to give a little chunk to it. There you go. Got a potion bottle.
Yeah,
Essence of mermaid. You gotta make sure the lid is really secure. Now, I had a hard time getting the sticky stuff off of like the stickers that said that it was a Frappuccino. I boiled it and then peeled it off after it cooled a bit, but it still has a sticky residue, and they have stuff like Glubigon and all that, but I didn't really want to bother with that. I think it's okay, and it's not like I'm ever going to really use it for anything else. It's going to be this forever. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to add some vinegar. Into my I don't want to do too much because It's not very strong, but it still smells. I'm thinking about doing red. A couple drops of red. I'm going to stir it around. And then I'm going to go ahead, pour some in here. It's a cool color. I might add some water. Looks pretty nifty. I am literally making this up as I go. I think I want to add some flowers. I have a whole bunch of fake flowers. And I think this would be really cool to kind of add texture. I want each one to look different. I'm just pulling the fake flowers off, put them in the jar. I'm going to do different colors so it's not all the same stuff. Got a little purple one. Got these two bright ones. Wish I had a yellow. Do I have a yellow? Probably do. Ooh, there's a big one. I couldn't find yellow, but I did find this orange. Ooh, what was that? Oh, it was a fuzzy. Okay, that scared me. It looked like a spider. I do not like spiders. Alrighty. That's the cool thing about doing stuff like this. You can literally just do anything you want. That looks pretty cool. Might add a little bit more red with some water. I'm using up all my water. Now I gotta figure out what sticker to put on it. So I decided on a centaur sticker because I thought the centaurs in Harry Potter are very one with nature, and especially they have a teacher at one point who is a centaur, and it's like a replacement divination teacher. And he always talks about, you know, being one with nature and being one with the stars and things like that. So I thought this could be like nectar of the centaurs, you know, like of their favorite flowers or something like that. It works, right? I know what I'm talking about. I was gonna put a Dolores Umbridge sticker on there, and I could say it's Dolores Umbridge like perfume, but it doesn't look like a perfume bottle, and I didn't think it would look right. Last bottle. So I'm taking pipe cleaners, and I'm kind of bending them, and then I'm snaking my way in there. And then I had an idea of doing green, doing a few drops. I'm going to use some vinegar because I don't have any water. There was a little bit of leftover red, so I'm not really sure how that's going to look. I'm going to pour it in here and see what happens. pretty cool. It looks like vines. I think I'm gonna add some drops to kind of darken it up. And I think I want to add some, instead of adding flowers, add the little fake stem parts. Stuff that in there. Give it some, maybe some fake leaves. Trying to find my little stick stuff. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in there. Shake it up again. It's almost like a vine trying to break out. Kind of looks like gillyweed, what I imagine gillyweed would look like. For those of you who don't know what gillyweed is, in Harry Potter, or in the Wizarding World, it's a type of like algae that if you ingest, depending on how much fresh water or salt water is mixed with it, like it, you know, where it grew from, you grow gills and fins for feet, and you can breathe up to an hour underwater. It happens in the 4th film, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So that is pretty cool. I think that turned out really well. What I really like is that everything looks different. Nothing looks the same, so it really does look like different kinds of stuff. I don't really know what label I'm going to put on it, but I'll figure it out. I don't have like a gillyweed or any kind of plant-like labels, so I have to think outside the box, but I'm sure I'll find something. Well, I hope this was fun for everybody. It's really just, you know, if you're going to have a Harry Potter, or just, not even a Harry Potter, but maybe like a witch or wizard party or something. It's just something to do. I think it's really fun to try. I'm excited about all these things because I'm going to use them all for the party. I have so many ideas that I'm going to use for it. I got like a bunch of other crafts that I'm planning on doing for the party, so this is just one little thing I thought would be fun if you guys are interested. So